The aim of the project was to create an interactive sound piece/instrument, capable of being played by multiple people at once using ultrasonic sensors. I was imagining the project in relation to the theremin, an electronic music instrument played without physical contact. For my prototype, I wanted to use multiple sensors to give an effect similar to multiple theremins able to be played at once. I was positioning my instrument as a way of subverting the standard production/performance of electronic music, one-to-many, to that of a group making it together. I was envisioning a situation in which a group of people would come together around the instrument unit and interact with it with their hands as if around a fire in order to create music. I was inspired by these choir pieces by Teenage Engineering. Each unit has unique vocal/sound ranges. They interact with each other and recognize when placed next to one another, with preset choral compositions but also playable through MIDI. For example, with a keyboard. Plan to make the instrument using the principle of phasing inspired by Steve Reich. Repeated loops of audio playing and becoming out of unison, making orchestral sounding music from tape loops as small as 2 seconds.
To show them, come out, to show them, come out, to show them, come out, to show them. Come out, to show them, come out, to show them, come out, to show them, come out, to show them.
Early drawings coming up with design, sensors spaced apart evenly around Arduino. Thinking about using screens between sensors to help the users understand where you activate the device. 3D printed pieces, wooden panels housing the Arduino, breadboard and a speaker. Aesthetic inspirations: Tesla coils, passion flowers, pylons, Ernst Haeckel's radiolaria, heating vents, mid-century glassware, antennae plants, motorway lighting, stacked metal railing. Drawings of design ideas. Sending sensor data over MIDI to Ableton Live. Early test trying out mapping volume of a track to distance from sensor in left video. Another mapping the pitch of various stock instruments and effects to distance from sensor in right video. The code works by using the data from each sensor to affect note values sent over to Ableton, and change the LEDs based on distance from the sensor. Progression of the design consisted of adding sensors one by one and getting them functional. During the process, I added some LEDs to make it visually obvious the sensors were picking up something in range. I made a semi-permanent cardboard housing which I then made look more like my initial design, and raised it off the table surface. I was running low on PWM pins available for LEDs, so I switched to this strip which only needs one. I used a for loop to make each sensor affect a certain group of LEDs. I used different colors to make it easier for me during the testing. I added a function where the LEDs get brighter the closer you are to the sensor. This will work visually in conjunction with the sound to show the effect the user has. I wanted to make a sturdier casing using this metal grid material. It was also important for it to be able to house a speaker so that the sound plays from the unit rather than the laptop currently via Bluetooth, but preferably using long cables in the future. The housing is detachable so I can slot the speaker and then the Arduino and sensors in when I need. Final, current, interaction. Although I am very happy with the overall effect of the work, and it functions just how I'd imagined, I would like to develop the Ableton side of things going forward. Be that learning the software more myself or collaborating with someone who knows it. It can sound a little harsh, which I think fits, but it would be nice to get it to a point where that intensity comes at proximity, with a softer soundscape at a distance. It would be interesting to be able to free up the design from the Arduino by making new casings and having the sensors at a greater distance from the Arduino, as well as soldering LEDs instead of having them loose. I'm starting to envision making a few of these more permanently with some 3D printed casings, even using the sensor data to affect motors so they could open and close like flowers. I'm imagining them more now as sentries to be shown as sculptures, reacting as people move around. I will be taking this idea forward and am planning to do a performance with several of the units, inviting people to interact with them.